I'm MacKenzie, and I'm a youth services librarian with the Beaverton City Library. Normally I'm at Murray Shoals, but today I am at home, and I am just going to share with you two of my favorite books that I've read this past year in 2020. Neither of them were published in 2020, but I read both of them these past 12-ish months. So these two books, there's only two of them, and they are both books of poetry. And they are very different from each other. And also you'll notice that they both have YA stickers on the spines. But what I will say is they're not necessarily just for teens. I think they are just as great for adults as well. Okay, so first what I'm going to talk about is called Honey Bee, and it's by Naomi Shihab Nye. Something I love about her is that she has written a lot of books, a lot of poetry for kids, teens, and adults. And I want to say this is an older collection, yes, published in 2008, 12 years ago. But I met somebody who shared one of the poems with me, and I loved it so much that I immediately tried to find the collection that had that poem in it. And this is that collection. So it's the very last poem. I'm not going to read you the whole poem. One, it's a little long. Two, there are some words in Arabic that I don't speak Arabic. So, and this way I also don't spoil the whole poem for you. You'll have the opportunity to look it up for yourself online or check out this book for yourself. So it is the very last poem in this book, and it is called Gate A4. Wandering around the Albuquerque airport terminal, after learning my flight had been delayed 4 hours, I heard an announcement. If anyone in the vicinity of Gate A4 understands any Arabic, please come to the gate immediately. Well, one pauses these days. Gate A4 was my own gate. I went there. An older woman in full traditional Palestinian embroidered dress, just like my grandma wore, was crumpled to the floor, wailing loudly. Help, said the flight service person. Talk to her. What is her problem? We told her the flight was going to be late, and she did this. So, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it's a very touching poem. I love it dearly. And one of the great things about Naomi Shihab Nye is that she has poems that are written sort of like in that traditional verse format, right? And it's mixed in with pieces that are written in a more like prosaic format. But anyways, touching poetry that still rings true today in 2020 as we're approaching 2021. Honeybee by Naomi Shihab Nye. And she's quite prolific, so she has a few newer books as well. Most recently in 2020, Everything Comes Next, which is in our children's poetry collection. Castaway, published in 2019, also in our children's poetry collection. And then also in 2019, The Tiny Journalist, and that is in our adult poetry collection. So if you're ever looking for poetry, you'll never be wanting when you look up Naomi Shihab Nye. All right. Next book that I want to talk about is called For Everyone. It's by Jason Reynolds. He's written a lot of books for teens and older kids. The Track series, which has Ghost, Patina, Sunny, and Lou, is fantastic. When I Was the Greatest. Jason Reynolds is just a powerhouse. But this, it's just like a skinny book of poetry, and it's very different in the sense that it's not a collection of poems. It's actually a letter written in a poetic format. So I'm just gonna start off reading a little bit of it. I'm not gonna read you the whole thing. I want you to actually like check it out or buy it for yourself. But this is how it starts off. Dear Dreamer, This letter is being written from a place of raw honesty and love, but not at all a place of expertise on how to make your dreams come true. I don't know nothing about that. I haven't gone through it all and come out on the other side pinned with a blue ribbon, draped in a victor's sash or dollar bills or even unshakable happiness. In fact, I have yet to see my own dream made tangible. This letter is being written from the inside, from the front line and the fault line, from the uncertain thick of it all, from a man with a straight line mouth and an ego with a slow leak. From a man doing it the only way he knows how, splitting his cries and his smiles right down the middle, swallowing his moonshine mistakes while in the sunlight his sweat irrigates his life, and that life he, like you, has been tilling, hoping there's a harvest coming. So that's just the start of For Everyone by Jason Reynolds. And just like the title says, I do believe that this book is for everyone. If you know anybody who's going through a change in their lives, such as, I think I read it right around the time that like high school seniors and college folks were graduating, and I thought it would just make an amazing graduation gift. But yeah, it's a really great letter on what it means to grow up and see your future and whatever that might be, right? And whether it's like your future as a 20-something-year-old or beyond. So anyways, those are my 2 poetry book recommendations, specifically for teenagers. I do mention one more book of poetry in my video that's geared towards adult readers with adult titles. So in case you're interested for more poetry, that's another video to watch. So yeah, Honeybee by Naomi Shihab Nye and For Everyone by Jason Reynolds. Highly recommend. Thank you everyone for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.